Hey, Nikki, you're so
Should
fine.
we-
You're so fun. You blow my mind. Hey, Nikki.
Hey, Nikki.
Hey, Nikki.
A-B-C-D-E-F-G, Nikki.
Yeah, Andy got it.
I did not get it.
That's
now
okay. Guys, welcome to Real Awkward Podcast, the best damn podcast you heard
Today.
My name is Andy,
I'm Amanda.
I'm Ashley.
and we commonly do these episodes called a street cred, but we have a very special street cred today. Amanda, hit 'em with what we doing.
Okay, so we've only done this
I'm
once,
sorry, that
so
whole time-
let's see how it goes.
That whole time, Andy had his eyes closed.
I did.
Yeah, it
I
was
did.
weird. It was weird.
I podcast with my eyes closed so no one can look at me. It doesn't
What is
work
this
that
weird
way.
Gimp hand you've got going on?
Yes.
Look like
Yeah,
that.
it was just like the loose
Dinosaur.
dinosaur hand, and then the loose T-Rex,
Oh, shit.
and then he had his head tilted back and his eyes closed.
Minute in and we're
So-
already off the rails. My bad.
You know what? You can imagine whatever you need to imagine, but that's exactly what
we're
was happening.
we're changing the podcast to off the rails. I think that's what we should do.
I mean,
okay, Amanda.
okay,
let's set you
so-
back up again.
What
we're
is
doing
so
an episode
spatial?
called. We're doing an episode.
What is it called?
Street cred
Stop
icons.
it. Stop it.
Guys, let's get serious.
Amanda's trying to do this intro and Ash keeps interrupting you on purpose. Okay, so what
I'm offended.
Amanda was trying to say was
Okay, I'm ready. So it's called Street Cred Icons, where we take an actor, director, whoever, who just has way too many fucking credits to do on a regular Street Cred episode. We take somebody, we grab our own favorite movies of theirs, and then we are just going to share our list. These might be movies that we think are amazing, terrible, awesome. Maybe we just think that they are worth watching, just simply because they're well rated. But this is our list, not yours. Deal with it.
yeah.
Nailed it.
And who are we doing our street
Yeah.
cred on if we didn't already say it?
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. We're going to steal the Declaration of Independence. I said decoration.
I'm going to steal the decorations in the ladies' garage.
I'm going to steal the decoration. What the hell? I'm going to say how Nicolas Cage stole Christmas. I'm gonna take
Honestly,
all the decorations.
Why are we not calling 4th of July decorations Decorations of Independence?
I agree. Damn it. Missed
I
opportunity.
got out my Declaration of Independence this morning.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so here is the deal. Amanda, I have a sheet here of notable Nick Cage flicks that I think we need to talk about. I think you and I are probably going to be... I think we're going to be crossing streams a little bit on this one just because Nick Cage
there's no
is-
way...
Yeah.
I mean, when you have an actor who just has so many top tier movies, I think it's impossible for us to not cross over a little bit here.
What is it? The undeniable talent of Nick Cage, or what is it? What's that title of that
Okay,
one movie?
I still have not seen that. The
Yeah.
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yes.
I still have not seen it. It's at the top of my list. Pedro Pascal is amazing. Nick Cage is amazing. He plays himself.
Right.
I have to watch it.
Well, and I feel bad because I'm in that same boat. Like, I have not seen it yet, and every single one of my friends say it's fantastic. And it's kind of like
It looks
a resurgence because he's tongue-in-cheek about himself. So I think it's worth it. I'm just going to put it on the
Well-
list because we haven't seen it, but we've heard good things. Yeah.
Nicolas Cage is he does make fun of himself, but he lives such an extravagant, bizarre lifestyle
Yeah.
that him even making fun of himself is you're like, bitch, you own a T-Rex fossil. Like, you making fun of
Yeah.
yourself here doesn't talk. You named your son Kal-El. Like,
Yeah, fair. Fair.
He's such an interesting human being.
Oh no, he's awesome, and we will throughout the episode talk about his hairline as well. It's
I just
changed.
want to
I
mention.
mean,
But Ash, can you hit us with a little info? You got a little bio?
Yeah, I
info?
thought you guys jumped right in, and I was like, y'all
Nah.
just skipped right over.
Nah, we won't forget you. Hit us. What do you know
Cool.
about Nicolas Cage?
Nicolas Cage was born Nicholas Kim Coppola
Oh,
Coppola.
what?
in Long Beach, California, the son of comparative literature professor August Coppola, whose brother is director Francis Ford Coppola,
If you guys didn't know, boom, twist ending.
and
Yep.
dancer/choreographer Joy Vogelsang.
Whoa, Vogelsang.
He is of Italian and Polish and German descent.
Looks like it.
Cage changed his name early in his career to make his own reputation, succeeding brilliantly with a host of classic quirky roles by the late 1980s.
I think that's a good intro on Nicolas Cage.
So
For sure.
similarly to the Samuel L. Jackson episode, I do not have a list of notable movies. On my sheet here, I have a list of movies I have seen.
Okay, and how many do you have total?
There are 8.
Oh, okay, that's not bad for you. Good job.
that's better. How many of these movies did you see by choice and not because Andy put them on?
0.
There's only one that I watched because Andy had me watch it.
Okay.
Okay.
The others were of my own volition.
Okay, excellent. All right. So,
Okay.
Amanda, let's kick this mother sucker off. What's your first
Okay.
notable Nick Cage movie?
I think we would be remiss if we didn't talk about Raising Arizona.
Okay. All right. I have that on the list as well. And one of his early roles, correct?
It was one of his first big roles.
Yep. And oh my God, what's her name? Who's in that with him?
Holly Hunter?
Holly Hunter. Yes. Right. It's actually a very well done movie. If I'm not mistaken, isn't John Goodman in that one as well? Right.
God, I don't even know.
I thought he steals the baby. I don't remember if they steal the baby or he's friends with them or something like that.
They steal a baby. Yeah, John Goodman is in this.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They're cruising around,
Okay.
him and another buddy, but yeah.
So here's I have the IMDb synopsis pulled up for these. If you're a movie fan, you've never seen Raising Arizona, it's really just kind of like a dumb, quirky comedy.
That's a good way to describe
They're
it.
hapless. It's just watching them kind of bumble around with a baby, not knowing how to take care of it.
Yeah.
But then Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter end up caring for this baby that they kidnapped.
Right.
So it's when a childless couple, an ex-con and an ex-cop, decide to help themselves to one of another family's quintuplets, their lives become more complicated than they anticipated. So, yeah, it's basically this couple, and especially Nicolas Cage, he plays an idiot.
Yeah, dude, his hair
But he's-
alone should have been a
he-
character in this movie.
And he had just this big old Tom Selleck mustache.
Yeah.
And Nicolas Cage, especially early on in his career, really played the hapless, sweethearted idiot.
Yeah, or
really
he
well.
was high, wasn't he? In Fast Times, wasn't he in that as well?
Wasn't everybody?
Yeah, they were. I will say, I think Holly Hunter plays a cop in that one, and she leaves the force or gets booted from the force, and then now
She's an ex-cop. She's his girlfriend.
Yeah, and then they're on the run, but they're trying to care for this baby, and at the end they fall in love with the baby, but then comedy ensues. It's kind of just all over the place, but one of Nicolas Cage's, honestly, I would say top 10 films, and he's done a lot. So
It was a Coen Brothers film, wasn't it?
yes, yeah, one of the Coens,
so
I think, right?
He had been acting for 4 years at that point. Yeah, his second movie credit is Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, okay, yeah, got it. I think Raising Arizona is a great one to put on the list. Ash, I'm gonna send this one over to you. What do you have for a Nicolas Cage movie you watched?
I have seen National Treasure, where he
I
steals
mean-
the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, shit.
Do you know what his character name is in that movie?
Isn't it Benjamin Franklin or something like that?
Benjamin Franklin Gates. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. Now, if you are a brand new listener to the show, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Join our Patreon. That being said,
Great plug.
I try. That being said, I will hear zero slander on this movie
Man,
because
I love this movie.
itself is a national treasure.
It is
And
so fun.
I don't want to talk about the plot holes. I don't want to talk about inconsistencies. I don't want to talk about how Nicolas Cage can get in like an underground, miles under the ground bunker in New York to Boston in like 30 minutes.
No way.
I don't want to talk about it.
I will say, aside from Nicolas Cage, which I think he plays a great role in this film, even the supporting cast was good. I forget what his accomplice, I forget what his name is.
I don't know what the actor's name is, but his name in the movie is Riley.
Okay, I always thought I liked Riley.
Justin Bartha.
He's like the straight guy.
That's right.
Right? Because he's like
He's in The Hangover.
He's the straight guy in the film. Like he's like the only person that's kind of sane, but
he's sort of sane, but he's like quirky. But so it's and then Diane Kruger is the love interest,
right?
And she is like the scholar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like the logic. And then John Voight, who I'm really not a fan of, plays Nicolas Cage's dad, and that it works.
Right.
And then in the second one, you have I know we're not talking about the second one because it's not as good. The second one, Helen Mirren is his mom, and that also works. Like, these odd roles that you wouldn't think work together. For some reason, Helen Mirren and John Voight making Nicolas Cage somehow works.
It makes sense.
In an alternate reality.
Yes. You're like, yeah, okay.
Was Sean Bean the bad guy?
Yeah.
Right.
He's the bad guy in the first one.
Right.
And then
honestly,
Ed Harris.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry.
Ed Harris is in that. You're right, Amanda.
He's in the second one. He's the bad guy in the second one.
Right. I will say,
but no.
As a Disney movie, they were very well done. Right. Like it could have been garbage, but it kind of, to me, I won't say as good as Pirates of the Caribbean, but like on that same kind of level of Disney just trying something new and it working. So. Yeah.
I believe they were both Jerry Bruckheimer films.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because Jerry Bruckheimer's movies, especially like 2008 to 2012, like somewhere in there, all had a very similar vibe.
Feel, for sure.
No, I thought that movie was super fun. I really liked that Disney was doing something that had nothing to do with Disneyland.
Yes, you're right.
It was serious enough, but then it had just enough goofy, but then it also had just enough action, adventure, mystery.
Well, it was honestly, I would put it in the same vein as almost like a Tomb Raider, but for colonial times. Like,
absolutely.
Right. And John Voight is the dad in both of them. So there you go.
Remember, Laura.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else to say about National Treasure, Amanda, before we move on?
It's a banger.
It is a banger. I'll put that there.
I don't have anything else. The Disney Plus show is sad, and I choose to believe that it happened. If you've never seen National Treasure, you got to watch it.
I am going to toss this one in because Ash will not want to talk about it very long. I'm just going to go Con Air.
Oh God!
I think Con Air deserves to be on the list only because he has this like ridiculous Southern accent. He's like an old military veteran that gets into a bar fight, kills some dudes, ends up having to go to prison, gets shipped over on this giant Airbus with like a bunch of really bad criminals, and then saves the day. That's a freaking awesome plot. There's rad characters in it, and Nicolas Cage is gonna freaking save the day.
I feel like with this cast, they were literally just like, who wants to be in a movie? And then whoever showed up, they just put him in.
To me, it sounds like, yeah, it's like the cast of a movie where they're like, it's just going to be like, it's just going to be lots of explosions and shit. It's an easy paycheck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it turns into this like cult classic, like John Malkovich, John Cusack, Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
right?
What
Yeah.
a movie.
Yeah. Steve Buscemi, right? Is like the super evil guy.
Danny Trejo.
Yeah, Danny Trejo, who's like 50. We talked about this.
He was like 50,
before,
but looks 30.
He does.
Dude, I honestly, I think this movie's amazing.
I think it belongs up there in the high Nicolas Cage movies. Again, crazy ass hair. He's got the Wolverine outfit going on with the wife beater
he's got borderline a skull.
Yeah, like legit.
Yeah, he was losing a lot of hair back
right
then.
there.
Yes, it was.
Because the sides of his hairline went back to his ears.
Oh, and it's gotten worse throughout
back.
these years too. It's getting
Man, this was before a hair transplant. And so he had this wispy, like 8 wisps of hair up top that then just cascaded down into this dry, thin-looking long hair.
It had to blow
and
in the wind.
so gross.
Yes, and every chance they got a wind machine on him.
Dude,
And it's
he
just
looks
blowing.
like he looks in that movie to me. He has the same hair as the sidekick, the one with the spinny eye and then the long gross hair in Pirates, where he's like, "Hello, puppet." Like he's got that hair going on, dude.
Yes.
Okay, I won't bother Ash with Con Air anymore. If you guys haven't seen it, listeners, you have to watch that one.
It's fantastic.
Amanda, what you got next?
I'm gonna throw in a weird one that you probably don't have, and I'm gonna say Willy's Wonderland.
I don't have that because I haven't seen it. Talk to me, because some people have talked about this one.
It's essentially Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay.
It's essentially, that's what it is. So his character is literally just called the janitor.
Okay.
And it's just super basic where, so this is from IMDb, okay? A quiet drifter is tricked into a janitorial job at the now condemned Willy's Wonderland. The mundane tasks suddenly become an all-out fight for survival against wave after wave of demonic animatronics. Fists fly, kicks land, titans clash, and only one side will make it out alive.
Janitor versus evil stuffed animals.
Essentially,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the
It's
verdict?
just as bananas as you think
Okay.
it is.
Fair enough. I actually want to watch it because I know people have said give it a shot. So
There's literally nobody else of note in this movie.
I think it's just
No.
him, right? Like
It's
solely,
just him.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally him. Some of the characters that are in it, you're like, oh, I've seen him before.
Right.
Or like, oh, yeah, okay. But no, the one thing I will say about all these Nicolas Cage movies is they always have the most bonkers posters.
Yeah, sure. I know. Whoever does
Like,
his posters are good.
Insane. But no, I mean, it's honestly just weird and hilarious and everything you'd expect from a movie that you know is about Nicolas Cage getting attacked by animatronic characters.
I love it. All right. Fair enough. Ash, I'm sending this one over to you. What's the next Nick Cage movie you watched?
Okay, this is probably my favorite Nicolas Cage movie.
Wow.
Kick-Ass.
Oh, there it is, dude. Big Daddy.
Big Daddy's
I'm personally
great.
offended.
What?
That it wasn't National Treasure.
Sorry.
No, I'm just playing. Kick-Ass is great.
It is so good. It's so good.
That one that we've had every movie we talked about so far has been crossover for me, but this one's absolutely on there. It's so good. His character is visually Batman, like
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
like visually
yes.
looks just like
Yes.
Batman. But the character he plays is so like apple pie.
Oh, dude, he's
Like,
like
it is-
he's Ned Flanders, but like kills
Yes.
dudes. And then the relationship he has with Chloe Moretz character is wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yes.
Her name's Hit Girl, right? in the movie. Yeah.
I just hate that his name's Big Daddy.
I know
Yeah.
Big Daddy's kind of a weird one, but I love that he carries around a shotgun as a superhero.
But I love that it's Big Daddy because he's kind of like simple enough to not realize that it's a terrible name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Well, because to him, he's probably like, well, I'm her dad.
Yeah, exactly.
alert,
Yeah.
we spoil movies on this podcast. So if you guys want to skip ahead just a little bit,
It's over 10 years old.
the scene, and I don't know
Yeah,
if it's
zero
I don't know if
sympathy.
it's Kick-Ass 2 or this one where he dies when he's like getting burned
this one.
alive. It's like
The first one.
It's intense. It's freaking intense. Like, and he's singing why he's dying. Like, it's pretty wild. So
I would say Kick-Ass is a movie that I feel like people forget about it. And then as soon as you bring it up again, people are like, oh yeah, that movie was so good.
Oh, and it was good. It not only was the writing fabulous, it was like making fun of the tropes of superheroes. It was really good. It was really well done.
It's refreshing to have a superhero movie that's not MCU.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
that doesn't follow the formula.
exactly. It can have like its own brand of humor. Like, I loved every character in this movie.
I had Kick-Ass on my list too. I also really like Mark. What's his name? He's the British bald guy.
Mark Strong.
Yeah, Mark Strong. I think he's the bad guy in it.
He is
Yep.
such a good actor.
Yep.
He is one where, like, when we eventually do ones of like, you know what their name is, but you've seen him everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
He is in everything,
I love
and
Mark
I
Strong.
love him.
Yep.
No, I think Kick-Ass is really good. I think his Nicolas Cage's character in Kick-Ass is great. And I don't know what made me think about this, but Sidebar Nation. Chris was watching Avengers Infinity War with Lincoln.
Yeah.
And you know the part towards the end of the movie where they're trying to stop Thanos from getting the stone, the time stone?
Yeah, in the forest.
And
yeah.
Yeah, no, well,
Oh.
they're on that planet or whatever,
Okay.
and like Star-Lord's there, and Iron Man and Doctor Strange. Well, they're all like teaming up against him, and so Spider-Man like shoots a bunch of webs in Thanos' face, and then I guess Lincoln just goes, "What pooped in his face?"
That's funny. Yeah, I rewatched those again recently. They were good. They were good.
I was joking, like he didn't understand.
Yeah.
But I was like, now, buddy, these movies came out a couple years ago, and we had to wait a year to find out the ending.
Right.
And I was like, so you get to wait a year. And like
Torture.
Chris had already started it, and he just like looks at me,
He's
and I'm
like,
just like,
what?
and I'm like, and I obviously like that wasn't gonna happen, but I was like, you're very lucky right now that you get to find out
Yeah.
what happened.
Want you
So
to
true.
appreciate.
Yeah.
Ladies, I'm going to move on with the Nick Cage thing, and I'm just throwing out the banger Face Off. Okay?
I mean,
I'm throwing it out there because I think his character, he has so many iconic lines from this movie, but I thought this was a really cool one where two main characters share the screen time and it works, right?
Yes.
Right? So John Travolta is the detective and Nicolas Cage is like I think he's a crime lord or a drug lord or something like that. John Travolta has been trying to get him forever, and the only way he can do it is if he turns himself in to the bad guy. So he does it.
Yeah.
They have this surgical procedure where they swap faces, or where they swap, and then Nicolas Cage ends up getting a hold of the doctor that did it and then makes him put Travolta's face on him, and then they switch character roles. And it was just a really cool premise to a story that
It sounds stupid.
It's awesome, dude. They both.
but I'm telling you, they keep it simple enough
Yeah.
that it works.
It does
It
work.
works and you think it wouldn't work because you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But like, it works, and it's so over the top that it just makes sense.
Well,
you're like, okay.
Yeah, well, and it's one of my favorites because Nicolas Cage is actually the bad guy. So very often Nicolas Cage plays the like, I don't know, Arkansas hero or whatever you want to call him. And
Hometown hero.
Yeah, in this one, he's actually gets to be like a real villain, and it was cool.
I
It was
love
cool
it.
to see.
I
Yeah.
love it when he plays the bad guy or the off character. Like,
I agree.
but Face Off is so bizarro.
It is
It just
bizarro.
works.
Yeah, it does. It does. I like it a lot.
That's a really fun one.
Do you guys know why the title is Face/Off?
No, is there
Because they slashed his face off.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
is there a story behind it? Oh, no. As far as I knew, is because they took their face off. I want his face off. It's like an entire scene. It's wonderful.
I want his face on my face. And then he does this at one point.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He pulls his hand away from it to do a scene of pulling his face off.
Yeah, but he looks up just slightly, and just like he has a handkerchief on his face, he just lightly pulls it off.
These
and lets
little
it go with the
nuances from his acting during
God.
that. Now I will say,
Okay, I've got the answer.
okay, hold on. Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage in almost every movie, but with a slight twist.
Every movie.
This one to me set the stone of here's his foundation. Everything else is this character, and then blossoms from it. So
it really cemented the Nicolas Cage character.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
All right, tell us.
So the studio did not want it to be Face/Off, but John Woo insisted because he thought that if it wasn't there, people would think it was a hockey movie.
Oh, okay, interesting. Face Off is considered a very popular hockey term back then, I guess.
Back then, a face-off
Yeah.
in hockey?
Well, I'm just telling you, for America, not Canada, the Wayne Gretzky era was when hockey became popular here. So
Maybe there had been another movie out recently that was similar in
To
naming
it?
to Face
yeah.
Off.
There was also
Maybe.
video games like NHL Face Off.
Right.
That
I mean,
type
it
of
is
stuff.
popularly a hockey term, so I understand that.
Okay, interesting. So John Woo was like, I'm getting ahead of it. And people were
Yeah.
like, oh, it has a slash in it. There's no way it could be hockey. So dumb. Okay, that was Face Off.
I'm ready to talk about another one.
I think it's Amanda. Do
Go.
The Wicker Man.
it. Yes. Not the bees. Not the bees.
Ah! What's in there? What's in there? Bees! Ah! My eyes! It's cinema.
Okay,
It's amazing.
Amanda, you're going to talk about this,
Okay.
but my favorite part in there, when he's just beating the shit out of butter turners, dude. He's just
he just roundhouse kicks these bitches in the
He's
face.
just punching all these freaking Amish style women in the
Oh.
face and kicking their ass.
This movie has a 3.8.
I can't get over it.
Oh, it is awfully good.
More like 10.8. It's amazing.
It is
Okay, so
rough.
The Wicker Man is a story. So it's a sheriff investigating the disappearance of a young girl from a small island, discovers there's a larger mystery to solve among the island's secretive neo-pagan community. I believe it's supposed to take place in Washington.
Oh, okay. It's super culty, right?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like a cult. They are. That's exactly what
He
it is.
does a lot of these cult movies, by the way. I have a couple on the list that are cult.
Yeah,
driven.
and he does a lot where everyone else is conspiring against him.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. You're right.
So there is the original Wicker Man was from 1973, and it takes place in a Scottish village, but it's essentially the same idea where this police officer is called because of a woman he used to be with, date or whatever, and she says my daughter's missing, I need your help.
Got it. Yeah.
And
that's
so
right.
he goes to this island and he's asking around about her. And these people are basically being like, I don't know who that is. This person doesn't exist, blah, blah, blah. But he's finding evidence that this person obviously existed, right? And then come to find out that they need him as a sacrifice to be the Wicker Man for their
Yeah,
honey harvest.
right,
Because these
right.
people are obsessed with bees. Now,
so dumb.
I will say that
It is pretty
the
dumb
original
premise.
definitely has a lot more of that ominous things are weird
Yeah.
vibe. And then at the end of the movie, when Nicolas Cage is up inside the Wicker Man and they're burning it,
Yeah.
and he's just screaming about bees. And he's like, I hate you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just cussing for the
It's-
last 2 minutes of it.
Yeah. It's fine, but the one in the original movie
Yeah.
is 1,000 times better because the character of the police like constable, he's like he starts like praying to Jesus because he's like like you're Satanist, you're a cult, and then he starts singing like so it's burning and he's like burning to death and he starts like singing hymnal songs.
Crazy.
And that's all you hear along fire.
Wow.
And it's insane.
Yeah.
But the Nicolas Cage Wicker Man is nothing like that. And somehow it's better. Because it's awful.
It is awful. I will say it's awful. Yeah.
If you are a purveyor of internet and you know what YouTube is, go and look up the video Nicolas Cage losing his shit.
I love that video.
It's one of my favorite videos. Also, the evolution of Nick Cage's hair.
Yes.
But the Nick Cage losing his shit has all the really good parts from Wicker Man of when he punches the people in the face.
Yep.
Somebody comes up in a bear outfit and he just straight up kicks them.
That's right.
And then there's another part where he's like looking at a doll and he's asking this woman like, what's the deal? And she's like, I don't know. And he goes like, why'd he get burned? Why'd he get burned? Why'd he get burned? And you're like,
remember that. Yeah.
Oh my
He's
God.
like shaking the doll at her.
Yes. In her face. Like, why'd he get burned?
That's a great one.
It's amazing.
That's a great one to put on the list. I will tell anybody if you haven't seen it, that's a one watch just so you can experience that movie for what it is. Yes.
Yeah, it's not one that you need to revisit
Yep.
often. I've seen it twice, I think.
Oh, okay.
But it's
you know,
it's one of those.
it's one of those. Ash, you got another one that you've seen on Nicolas Cage?
Yeah. I'll bring this one up. It's fairly recent. I saw Renfield.
Oh, that's right. I have not seen.
I have not seen that.
Talk to us.
Basically, it's Nicholas Hoult is the main character.
Right.
Nicolas Cage is a side character for most of it,
But he's Dracula, right?
but he's Dracula.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And Nicholas Hoult is basically like he's become
He's familiar.
Yeah, he's become like his apprentice. He's taken him under his wing for like hundreds of years. And he's
Okay.
just like, I'm tired of this. And so he wants to like escape Dracula's hold on him.
Okay.
I think that Nicolas Cage plays a pretty good vampire.
Okay.
I think his character, just like his acting style, like works well with the vampire character.
He's got the brows for it.
Yeah, and he kind of like you can
Yeah.
see him in a cave, just kind of talking like, like a mouthful of teeth.
Yeah, right.
So it works for him. So yeah, I actually went into it thinking it was going to be stupid, but I thought it was entertaining.
Well, that's awesome. I want to watch it, and we normally watch our horror movies in September, October. So this Halloween season, I'll throw it on.
And I'm pretty sure it's streaming on. Maybe it's
on Paramount Plus or Peacock. Or
I think it's
something.
on Peacock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on my list. I just haven't gotten there yet. It looks again stupid.
Yeah,
and that's
but
why I
it's
want to watch
entertaining.
it.
It's worth watching once. So.
It is. You recommend at least a one watch?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. I'm going to go with a. You know what? I'm going to go with his Academy Award winner on this one. Have either of you seen Leaving Las Vegas?
No.
It's been a really, really long time.
Okay, so lighthearted. I wouldn't call it necessarily a comedy, but it is a dramedy. Him and Elizabeth Shue essentially fall in love in Las Vegas and go through a bunch of crazy antics, and he won for Best Actor. I think he won for Best Actor on this one. So if out of all the notable Nicolas Cage, if you want to see one that truly like won an Oscar, then Leaving Las Vegas needs to be on the list. Now, if you're looking for that Nicolas Cage, like crazy, wild, this is not the movie for that. I would say he's a lot more of a straight-laced character in this one. But I haven't seen it for like 20 years. So I don't really recall any of particular scenes in it, but I do know the guy freaking won an Oscar. So putting it on the list.
Yeah, I don't remember anything distinctive. I just remember the overall story where like he's self-destructive.
Yeah.
Like he's not going there looking for a new star.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it has a Pretty Woman vibe to it, where like Elizabeth Shue is a prostitute. Yeah. And she kind of redeems him instead of the other way around, if that makes sense. So
sure.
Anyway, great film. So, Amanda, hit us with another Nick Cage style movie. I know you got him.
Okay, I'm going to hit you with another banger.
All right.
Ghost Rider.
I got that on the list too. That was actually my number 2. I will say these.
None of mine are in order.
No. I didn't have it. I just put them down on the first ones that I really enjoyed. But Ghost Rider, I will tell you this. The first and second Ghost Riders are very different. Like very different. But I'll pass it to you to kind of talk about Ghost Rider.
Well, Ghost Rider, the first one, was a movie that was made to be shown in the movie theater, and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance or whatever the fuck it was,
straight to DVD,
was a Blockbuster exclusive. That was the quality. Sci-Fi Channel.
It was ridiculous.
So I'm only speaking of the first one. Okay, I will say, okay, so he plays a character called Johnny Blaze, okay? Deal with it. His toupee is terrible. He is like an Evel Knievel kind of stunt rider. Yeah. And somehow we're meant to believe that Eva Mendes is his high school sweetheart.
Falls in love with
him. Apparently you gotta, if I'm supposed to suspend reality to believe that a man can light on fire, then I can believe that Eva Mendes would fall in love with Nick Cage.
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
So he basically sells his soul to the devil, who is Peter Fonda, for the devil. He sells his soul to the devil. The devil tricks him, and now he has to do his bidding.
Yeah, because he sells sells his soul to the devil because he wants to be like the best stunt rider or something like that, right?
No, he wanted to save his dad's life. His dad was dying of cancer or something like that. And so he sold his soul to the devil to like cure his dad.
Oh, dude, I need to watch this again because I never read the Ghost Rider comic book. So
the Ghost Rider comics are legit.
Yeah.
But the movie, the way they do the origin story is his dad's dying, knows that this jump will probably be his last.
Okay.
And then, so Nick Cage basically sells his soul to save his father from the illness, but then he dies in the crash.
Right.
Like he crashes and dies.
Right.
So
that's actually a brutal
the devil
scene.
Tricked him.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's the beginning.
Yeah.
And then so then he I think is dormant for a while, just like lives his life for a while, and then I think like, the devil comes for the payback. And then now he's Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. But the one thing that actually is awesome in this movie is you get to see Sam Elliott.
Yeah, the first Ghost Rider, right?
The first Ghost Rider, and he's on a horse, which is cool.
And Sam Elliott plays a badass Ghost Rider.
Sam Elliott's a badass, but you don't see anything really, really cool happen till like the end.
Yeah.
But then they do have it in the second movie. The second movie, okay, so in the first movie, where you have Nicolas Cage turning into Ghost Rider, is him just like screaming and stuff. In the second movie, they basically were like, just go nuts. Just go crazy.
They literally, dude. They
just see what happens.
Gave him free fucking reign to just lose it.
And the second one is too much.
It's bonkers,
The
dude.
second one.
He's pissing fire. Like, it's ridiculous. And it has like this Terminator vibe because this little boy befriends him in the second one. And they like, I don't know. It gets weird. I will say I was disappointed in the first one's villain. Because it's kind of the devil, but it's actually Darkheart. He like sends a little minion after him.
I don't remember the name of the actor.
He's the boy that was in American Beauty that lets the bag float and records it.
That guy. He's such a lame villain in that movie.
He's super stoic and like it's boring.
It's like Peter Fonda's his dad or something like that, and it's like, this is stupid. It was like family drama.
It makes me frustrated though, because in the comics, Darkheart is cool looking. Like,
Ghost Rider is visually one of my favorite Marvel superheroes, quote unquote, because I think it's fucking cool.
It is.
He's got
Blackheart,
fire chains.
Oh, what did I say? Darkheart? Whoops, Blackheart. Sorry, yes, Blackheart.
Oh, I didn't clock it. He's got like Ghost Rider has such a cool character design that to just kind of underutilize it was too bad.
Yeah,
so
I agree. Now I do
I'm curious
remember
to see-
the first bike that they used. Wasn't that West Coast Customs or something like that? Didn't they do it, or was that the second movie? I don't know. I remember the bike looking cool. A lot of the visual effects for its time I always thought were really cool. So
honestly,
yeah.
a lot of the flame effects for early 2000s weren't terrible.
Yeah, I agree. I think they did okay. So Ash,
What's next?
What you got? You got another one?
I'm gonna mention this one because my kid loves it. The Croods.
Okay.
Oh, the Croods. Mm-hmm. I thought you were gonna say 8mm.
Haven't seen it.
That's messed up. I'll talk about that one in a little minute.
It.
Definitely not. No,
he does the voice of Grug, who's the dad in the Croods.
That's
which is,
right.
If anyone hasn't seen it, it's about like cavemen and they're discovering new things. And
honestly,
they made sequels. They made a TV show about it. Like, so it was a pretty decent
cute
series.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's the voice, which always kind of like throws me when she has it on.
He's like the big brooding dad, right? In the movie,
yeah,
he's the dad.
Yeah, that's right.
And you say brooding, but he's just like a dumb.
Well,
like,
yeah, but he's like bulky, right? Isn't he like unga?
His name's
like,
Grug.
Yeah, his name's Grug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, those movies are really fun. I had him on for Lincoln, and he was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "It's like the before the Flintstones."
Yeah, right.
And he's like, "Okay,
okay,
like okay."
That's a good way to explain it.
They're cute.
Anything else on that? On Croods?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna hit you guys with one of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies of all time, and that is The Weatherman.
That one's on my list.
Okay.
And the reason, Amanda, you've seen The Weatherman.
Yes, and it's not on my list.
Oh, it's so good. It's this level of crazy dry, offbeat humor. He plays a weatherman that everyone essentially hates. I hate his stupid face. Like these interchanging scenes of him trying to parent his son and his daughter, while his son is basically like being groomed by this creepy dude and his daughter is being bullied at school. He can't get his shit together. His dad is, oh my God, Alfred.
Michael Caine.
And it is some of the best banter and writing between the two of them in that movie. Iconic stuff, man. He gets milkshakes thrown at him all the time for no reason at all. He carries a bow and arrow around New York with him so that no one messes with him. Dude, the movie is great. And it has a lot of nods to just like how difficult life can be even when you're famous. And I love it. I love the movie. I think that everybody needs to watch it. It is one of my favorite Nicolas Cage films. That's all I got. Do you agree?
Yeah, this is the one on my list that I watched because Andy made me watch it. And I enjoy it. It is kind of a dark comedy, just like kind of like you said, a dry humor or like just crap stuff is happening to this guy who's just like struggling to just be successful at any part in his life. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's worth a watch.
Agreed. Amanda, I need your opinion on this one. You don't like it.
I watched it once.
Okay.
And I was kind of just like, okay.
Yeah. Well, you
Like-
saw it when you were really young too, right? Like younger.
Yeah, valid.
Yeah. I mean,
If
I
I
don't know.
watched it again, it would obviously hit very different for
I
me
think
now
so,
because
with kids. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
and if I remember correctly, him and his wife are broken up.
they're
or
having
trying
they're
to
having problems.
figure it out.
Yeah.
So I think any adult could identify with that, right?
Yeah.
Like trying to have it all.
Yeah.
You know, like
His daughter, dude, she's so funny. The kids at school keep calling me camel toe. It's like, why the fuck would they say that? Like, it's just so dumb. I love it. Again, the writing is fantastic. I think, the director was Gore Verbinski, the same one who did Pirates, which is crazy. So,
wild.
Amanda, you want to hit us with another one?
Sure. How about Spider-Man Into the Spideyverse?
Ooh, I didn't have that on my list.
That's on
even
my
though
list.
I like it. I like him in that
He's
one.
He's the voice of Spider-Man Noir. I love Into the Spider-Verse. It's easily one of my favorite animated movies ever. It's amazing. He is not in the movie for very long. Like the alternate Spider-Mans that they meet really maybe have about half an hour of screen time total. But his character stands out so much in the movie because everything's so bright and colorful and everything, and he is black and white.
Yeah, and he's all like
and everything
dark
everything he does is black and white. And then just like the little monologues that he gets from time to time are hilarious. Like he really, in my opinion, steals the scenes that he's in because his character is just so fucking weird.
Yeah, I agree.
And then he's like, and he's talking about how he doesn't feel anything, and he's like, sometimes I light a match and let it burn down to my fingers just to feel something. And you're like,
that's Nicolas Cage too.
And you're just like, oh my fucking god, it's Nicolas Cage.
It's
and
so
no, I loved it.
I will second that one. I think he did a good job in that role. You liked it too, right, Ash?
Yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah.
You got another one, Amanda?
Yeah, did you what about did you guys ever watch Mandy?
No, somebody just talked to me about that. Is that new or no?
It's a couple years old.
Okay.
2018.
Someone said that Mandy gets wild. It's a crazy.
Well, all the movies Nicolas Cage has done in the last 10 years are fucking bonkers.
Yeah, they're all really really crazy.
I would even go as far as to say that the last like 6 or 8 years. So it's basically the enchanted lives of a couple in a secluded forest are brutally shattered by a nightmarish hippie cult and their demon biker henchmen, propelling a man into a spiraling surreal rampage of vengeance.
Dude, that sounds absolutely Nick Cagey, and I love it. I need to put that one on the list too. I need to see it.
It's insanity. Like, it's amazing. It's so weird. He's covered in blood for most of the movie. He
why is it called Mandy?
I remember because one of the characters is named Mandy.
Oh, okay.
But he carries this like crazy not hatchet thing, like this axe thing. It's insane. It's
Is it Netflix?
Insane.
Was it Netflix? Or
no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's I don't know where you can get it now. A lot of his movies I feel like are on Hulu.
Okay. I'll have to check it out on Hulu. I've got a lot to watch here from Nicolas Cage's most current stuff.
How many more do you guys have?
I've got a couple ones I can just burn through here too. Ones that I think people should watch, but also I think they're very notable. The Rock.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that movie's so good. And what his character names in movies are always too much.
Yeah.
But in that movie, his name is Stanley Godspeed.
Yeah, Stanley Godspeed. You're right. And it's got
Sean
Connery in it, who was like this escaped the only guy to ever escape Alcatraz.
Yes.
Ever. And
they need him to get back in.
Is John Cusack in that one or no? Is he? I don't think so. I think it's
no.
There's some other actor that's in there with him. If I'm not mistaken, isn't Nicolas Cage like a rookie and's like never shot a gun before and like he's a
chemist.
Oh, that's right. He's a biochemist, and he's never had to do any real street work as a cop. So
because the bad guy, which I think is Ed Harris.
Yeah.
He's doing like a bio attack. It's like weren't they like green balls?
Yeah,
they're
using Alcatraz as like their spot to do the bad guy base stuff. Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. I just think the movie itself is good. I think it's Michael Bay, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I'm willing to be almost sure without even checking.
Michael Bay. So anyway,
Michael Bay.
I would just say if you want the crazy action, a little bit of Nicolas Cage trope in there, The Rock is definitely one that people have to watch.
I would say if you like Con Air and you've never seen The Rock, what are you doing?
What are you
need to
doing?
watch The Rock.
I'm gonna throw in a crazy one. Here is Drive Angry. You guys remember Drive Angry? So
that's not on my list.
Literally, this is the exact same thing, but now like put it up to 11. So Wicker Man, he's like going to kill a cult. In this one, he's going to kill a cult, but this time he has the spirit of the devil in him. Like he's literally spit out from hell. His job is to seek revenge on the people that killed his daughter or wife and daughter, something like that. And somehow Amber Heard gets thrown into the whole thing just as a sexy piece of ass to look at the entire time. And their job is to just like kill everybody and everything. I forget the actor's name. He plays in Mom as the boyfriend that's in a wheelchair. The TV show with Anna Faris.
Oh, William Fichtner.
Yes, William Fichtner is like, he's the bad guy, and he is, I think he's supposed to be Satan himself, but I don't remember, but he's got all these special powers. Like he can like Matrix, like move around a bullet and stuff like that. It is just like balls to the walls, absolutely ridiculous, but with cars, which Nicolas Cage is known for because of what movie, Amanda?
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Gone in 60 Seconds, which is my next one to kind of throw out there. So did you have Gone in 60 Seconds on your list at all?
I don't.
Okay. If you guys haven't seen it, Angelina Jolie, Nicolas Cage, their job is to steal, I want to say it's like 10 cars in a night. And they all have them named and where they're supposed to steal them from. And he's always been like a car thief back in the day. Like this ragtag group of
They
people.
have to steal
Yes.
the Declaration of Independence.
Decoration.
Wait, and don't
60
they have the
seconds.
same dad?
Yes, they do. How does that happen? Again, Nicolas Cage, he does that like he's in a leather jacket, pops the collar, he's like, okay, let's go. And like,
And yeah, he does he does like the double finger guns, like, like
yeah, like he's revving up, like, okay, let's rock. So anyway, I would just say like those are some real fast ones here. And then I've got some other unique ones. Amanda, do you have anything else on your list?
I have 4 more.
Okay, why don't you hit us with a
One-
couple of them?
I have 4 more. One I think you've actually seen, so I'm gonna do that one last.
Okay.
He was in a movie called Prisoners of the Ghostland.
Ooh, never watched it.
Hang on. Okay, it came out 2021, so it hasn't been out for too long. Again, bananas, absolutely bananas cast. I mean, just this whole movie is fucking bonkers.
Right.
But it's got the girl who in the Mummy remake with Tom Cruise, the girl who played the Mummy.
Yes.
She's in it.
Okay.
So it's a notorious criminal must break an evil curse in order to rescue an abandoned girl who has mysteriously disappeared.
That sounds like everything he's always done, just mashed up into one script.
Sure does.
Okay, but now let me give you a little more.
Okay.
And then you're going to be like, wait, what?
Okay.
Okay. Set in the treacherous frontier city of Samurai Town,
Oh, no.
where a ruthless bank robber is sprung from jail by wealthy warlord the Governor. That's his name in the movie.
The governor.
Whose adopted granddaughter Bernice has gone missing. The governor offers the prisoner his freedom in exchange for retrieving the runaway. Strapped into a leather suit that will self-destruct within 3 days, the bandit sets off on a journey to find the young woman and his own path to redemption.
What the F?
His name in the movie is just Hero.
Wait, do they call him that, or that he just never
Yes,
has his
if
name?
people have names. Hero, Psycho, Governor, like just Rat Man, like literally just like
Okay.
the most random.
Okay.
It's fucking bizarre, but it has really, really cool imagery in it because it's like it's called Samurai Town, so it's a lot of like Asian influenced
Yeah.
artwork, and like a lot of people are samurais or like, you know, trying to take him out like samurais. He has 2 katanas for most of the
Oh
movie.
my God, yes.
You can assume what happens there.
Okay.
It's bonkers.
It sounds
People
incredible.
are wearing like big ornate masks or the huge outfits, and it's like Kung Pao and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and like a Splatterhouse movie had a baby.
Okay.
Like,
all right. That sounds
it's
like
wild.
Nicolas Cage. You need to pay for his taxes on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not mad about that one because it's weird.
I gotta see it. What else is on your list? You said you had another one.
Color Out of Space.
No, I haven't seen that either.
Like I said, he's done a lot of weird movies in the last couple years. So this one was 2019. A secluded farm is struck by a strange meteorite, which has apocalyptic consequences for the family living there and possibly the world.
Ooh, dun dun dun. You saw it, and what do you think?
Yeah, it's wild. So this one's really cool visually because basically this meteorite crashes and you're like, oh, wow, weird.
Yeah.
And it like melts. And then now there's like crazy colors and shit all over the place.
Okay.
And it gives the land, it gives like their backyard foresty area like weird colors, but also like weird space-time. It almost like it opens like a wormhole.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's basically this alien force is like mutating everything around them.
It sounds a lot like Annihilation. With
Kind of.
Yeah.
But like cooler.
Yeah, but Nicolas Cage style.
But Nicolas Cageier.
Yeah.
No, it's really cool. It's I actually thought it was, I mean, it's still very like horror sci-fi.
Right. Sure.
But it's just visually really, really cool. There's a lot of pink and purple. Like especially like if you look up like the front cover of the movie is very pink and purple. But it kind of reminds me a lot of like these old school 70s horror movies that would happen, but it's like with a full budget, right?
Okay.
Well,
okay,
medium
sure.
budget.
That's a good way to put it.
That one's just like it's very kind of akin to a lot of the stuff he's done, where it's like he's just something happens, he's got to save the day.
Are you looking this one up right now?
I did look it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But that one's really just a little different,
Like unique, like in his repertoire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
okay.
got a couple that are kind of interesting.
What do you have any others on your list?
I'm going to bring this one up because I feel like it's uncommon for him to do a romance. But he was in City of Angels.
Oh, that's right.
In the 90s.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that movie was a big deal.
And that was who was the female counterpart?
Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I remember, do you guys remember there was a song off the soundtrack that was like a
really big. Ooh.
And I don't want the world to see me.
Oh, is that it?
Cause I don't think that they'd understand. I think that's it.
I'll take it. What, Goo Goo Dolls?
The Goo Goo Dolls.
Well, we just had the Goo Goo Dolls perform in our backyard.
Are you for real?
Yeah. Legit. Like
I 100% would have gone to
Oh
that.
my God.
It was awesome.
Yeah, we were able to listen to it from the bedroom and back porch, right? Like, it was pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I loved them.
I
back in
don't
the
know
day.
enough of their songs.
And I
but,
told
like,
Andy,
yeah.
I said, everybody in that amphitheater right now
It's-
is our age.
Yeah, they're all exactly like 35 to...
And
Yeah.
they are there for 3 songs.
Yes,
Exactly.
they are. Yes, they are. That's awesome.
They're like I just think that like that one was interesting. I don't know if I've ever sat down and watched the whole thing, but I just remember he just was so odd looking in the movie. I just remember him always having this really long black trench coat.
Yes.
And just like being weird in the corner.
Well, because he's
like,
death,
skulky.
right? Or something like that? Or...
Let me read the synopsis.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yes, please.
An angel on earth, a doctor unable to believe, a patient with a secret, a love story made in heaven.
Oh, that's so
That
sweet.
tells you
Wow.
nothing about the movie.
Is he an angel?
But he's an angel.
Okay,
yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. City of
Yeah, and
Angels.
I think Meg
Is
Ryan's
he
the
deaf?
doctor.
Dumb. Yes, trench coat is good. Let's see. I don't have anything. I think we hit everything else here. Oh, you know what? I touched on 8mm. So, if you guys are looking for like deep, disturbing drama, 8mm is essentially, he's a detective. He finds this 8mm footage of this old guy that passed away, and his wife's trying to figure out something either with their assets or something like that, but it ends up uncovering a deeper rabbit hole of snuff films. And so Nicolas Cage has to watch these snuff films, and it just gets really, really like intense and crazy. But I remember that movie being like almost brutal, right? To watch. Like, it was one of those things where you're like, God, it's a really good drama, but it's like really uncomfortable. So, and Nicolas Cage does a good job. I remember in that film, of being like a dark, I don't want to call it noir, right? Because it's not that style, but it definitely has this like brooding, slow pace, uncomfortable plot line. So 8mm is one though, just to put it on the list for notable.
I've never watched it, but I've always like, it's always just been one that I'm like, I should watch that because it reminds me of Seven.
Yes.
Like visually looks like Seven.
Yes. And I would say that it's like in that same vein where like some of the kills in Seven are like super uncomfortable. It's kind of the same thing in that as he's uncovering this. And then I'm just going to throw in Snake Eyes as well. So I don't know if you guys have seen Snake Eyes. Essentially it's a drama / thriller, all based around like casinos and like an underground plot points going on that he's uncovering. And like, it's just all of this crazy shit again, but they kind of remind me of the same film, if that makes sense. I mean, one's a lot more dark in the way that it goes, but Snake Eyes was a pretty popular film back in the early 90s, I think, when it came out, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe it was mid 90s.
Sweet. Late 90s. 98.
Late 90s. So those, I have those ones. And then I have two that I think are like some of his best work coming up. So anything else from you?
Well, I have 2.5 left.
Okay. I'm curious about a 0.5. I want to know what that means.
Well, okay. So it's a movie that I've like seen a lot of pieces of. I've just never sat and watched the whole thing.
Okay.
I start it or I'll like try and keep up where I was, and it has nothing to do with the movie. It's just me every time.
Okay.
There's this movie that came out in the last couple of years called Pig.
Oh, yes.
And
I've heard of Pig.
It's almost like John Wick.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
where it's like Nicolas Cage is like a truffle hunter. He like lives alone and he's like all gruffled and like in the wilderness, and his like foraging pig is kidnapped. And he has to like return to his old life to find
somebody
her.
was talking about this recently too. I said, the last 5 years of Nick Cage, I have not jumped on because they always felt so ridiculous that it was like, I'll watch it sometime. I know what I'm in for.
Right.
But now it's like, okay, I think I need to go on a Nick Cage, like current Nick Cage binge.
Well, there's another movie out that he was in that I haven't watched called Sympathy for the Devil. It's new.
Okay.
But it looks weird.
Okay.
Like, because he has this big fake hairpiece on and
Yeah.
stuff. Because lately, in the last like 8 years, he's been playing older characters.
Right.
He plays the older dad, the grandfather. He plays an older character,
Sure.
which makes sense. In Pig, he's an older character. And then he's in a newer movie that is coming out or just came out called The Retirement Plan.
Oh, okay.
And he's old.
Right. Right.
And so there's this movie called Sympathy for the Devil that just came out. And I mean, just on the front cover, he's got this fake ass hairpiece. It's solid
Classic.
brown, but it's after being forced to drive a mysterious passenger at gunpoint, a man finds himself in a high stakes game of cat and mouse where it becomes clear that not everything is as it seems.
Sounds good.
There really isn't anyone like that I really recognize else in this movie.
Okay.
But it looks really interesting. But another one I wanted to talk about was a movie called Mom and Dad.
Why do I feel like have you seen that one, Ash?
Nope.
Okay.
So it came out in 2017. And it has Selma Blair in it.
Okay.
And a couple other people that you might recognize, but that's really it. So it's a teenage girl and her younger brother must survive a wild 24 hours during which a mass hysteria of unknown origin causes parents to turn violently on their own kids.
Yeah, see, I remember, I don't know if it was a trailer or some hype that I saw around this film, but I had that on the list. I forgot what it was called, but yeah, Mom and Dad, right? Mom and Dad is what it's called?
Yeah, Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
And it's that one's really good. Like, obviously, like, killing your kids.
Yeah,
but
right.
it's it kind of reminded me of like not necessarily the same kind of movie, but like you remember The Crazies, where like
Yes.
everybody goes crazy and nobody knows why.
Right. Yes.
It was kind of like that.
Okay.
Where it's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Like, and like these kids are just living their lives, and all of a sudden their parents go fucking crazy.
Just go on them. Okay. So, I see. So it's like Power Rangers, like when they drink Ivan's ooze.
Yes. Yes.
So dumb.
Yes.
So dumb.
But this is R-rated.
Yeah. Right. Fair.
Okay, I've only got one left, so why don't you guys?
Okay.
Why don't you
Ash, you got another one on your list?
I have one more on my list, but can I just do an honorable mention for this movie I found on IMDb called Jiu-Jitsu?
Okay.
Came out in 2020. It has a 2.9 rating.
Wait, Nick Cage?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh God.
Every 6 years, an
I've
ancient
never
order
heard of
of
this.
jiu-jitsu fighters joins forces to battle a vicious race of alien invaders.
Sounds awesome. Sounds
It's
awesome.
just called Jiu-Jitsu.
Jiu-
Dude,
Jiu-jitsu.
Nick Cage has moved into the
Wow.
Steven Seagal
Wow.
realm with some
look
of these
bad.
action
Looks
movies.
bad. It has Tony Jaa in it too. No, the last one on my list that I have seen is The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Oh, that's right. You guys loved that movie, didn't you? You and Amanda
Oh,
talked that up.
It's not bad.
It's kind of funny.
It's not bad.
It's the same director as National Treasure.
Okay.
And again, I think it's a Disney. It's considered Disney.
It is Disney.
I honestly haven't seen it since it came out.
Wait, who is in that? Nicholas Holt?
No, it's
Oh.
Jay Baruchel.
Oh, okay. I remember
Yeah.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
from How to Train Your Dragon, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
and some of the other weird, like Into the World movie or something like that. I think he's in that one.
Yeah, he's in a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah. Like the James Franco
The
Seth
World's End. I
Yes.
think it was
kind
called.
of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
that one. It was fun. It
Yeah.
was like a young adult. It was fun.
But it was medieval, right? Medieval ages? Or no? Is it
thought
modern?
Current. No, it's current.
Oh, it's modern? Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. And Nicolas Cage has long wavy hair.
It's so good.
And he wears a fedora.
Oh, I love it. Kind of like Van Helsing, but not as cool. I'm going to throw these ones out there. Some of my favorite films, I know some of these I've talked about as notable. These are literally some of my favorite Nicolas Cage films. First is Matchstick Men. Directed by Ridley Scott. Dude, he has like this OCD, like that classic Nicolas Cage all over the place. And he finds out he has a daughter and he has to take care of her. And she finds out that he's a con man. So him and, Justin Hammer, what's the actor's name?
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell are together as these con men, and he ends up having to teach his daughter the ways of being a con artist. And it is a phenomenal, not only coming of age movie, but like Nicolas Cage does a great job in that film. I absolutely love that one. And then Lord of War.
That was the last one that I was.
Okay, so Amanda, why don't you talk about that one then? Talk about Lord of War, because I think people should watch that. It's incredible. Yeah.
I mean, it's great. I honestly, the one thing that I always remember about this movie is the front movie cover.
Yeah.
Where it's like his face is made up of like bullets.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yep. It's a really cool, like visual
Like-
look on the front cover of it.
It's amazing.
It's him and Jared
So,
Leto, right?
yes.
I think so. I think he's like trying to teach him how to
Yes.
how to be a
Yes.
gun salesman or a gun runner, gun salesman. I forget. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically the life of Yuri Orlov.
Yeah.
And in the 80s, he was a gun runner.
Right. Arms dealer. Yep.
He was an arms
Yep.
dealer. And basically like it also talks about a huge portion of his life where now then he gets involved with like a bunch of African drug lords and stuff and starts running all kinds of like starts dealing weapons and stuff for them.
Yeah. Crazy shit. Yep.
But yeah, I know that I know that it was a lot about like Nicolas Cage's character, his relationships like with his family members,
Yep.
and then like all the while he's like, you know, living like this life, and then now he's being chased by Interpol agents.
Yeah. It has a
it's
lot of cool.
really
It's a
good.
cool tangled web.
Yeah.
But I think I remember loving the visual style, the writing, and Nicolas Cage was like the perfect character to play the role. So I don't know. I put that one up there for Nicolas Cage movies.
No, it's really good.
So you have anything else, Ash?
No, my book is closed.
All right. Mine too. Amanda.
I have one final one.
Oh, hit us with it.
Better be good.
It's not. It's called Primal from 2019.
Dear Lord, all of these like 2017 to 2020 movies, dude, they're all chaotic.
So, Nicolas Cage's character is like a big game hunter.
Okay.
And he was in the Brazilian jungle, and he was he had caught or captured, he didn't kill it, a 400-pound white jaguar. And
Okay.
there was like a bunch of other animals on board too that he had like captured, whatever. So now they're on like a ship sending it all back to the US because that's how you do things. And now for some reason, also on board this like freight ship is a political assassin being extradited to the United States, but it's all a secret. Nobody can talk about it.
Okay.
So, inevitably, the assassin escapes and lets all the animals loose on the ship.
Oh no. It's like
So it's like snakes on a plane, bitch.
Noah's Ark.
Jaguars
gone
on a
crazy.
boat.
Uh-huh.
Wow,
Oh,
what a
boy.
way to close out the show.
I love it.
What a way to end it. Okay, what Nicolas Cage movies are you both gonna go rewatch after this?
None of them.
I'm gonna go watch Bringing Out Your Dead. You remember that one? It's awful. You remember that
No.
one? He's an EMT and he doesn't sleep, so it's like insomnia,
Oh.
and it's just about him like trying to stay up during
Yes.
a terrible night or I guess just life of being an EMT. Yeah, I threw that one out there because it's really hard to get through. It's very slow. I think that I'm probably going to hit up probably Pig or whatever the samurai one was that you talked about. What was that one called?
Hold on, I just lost it. I was deleting as I went. so I don't
Gotcha.
have the
No, that's
names in front
okay.
of me
That's
anymore.
okay. But some of that current Nick Cage stuff, I feel like I need to.
Prisoners of the Ghostland.
Yeah, Prisoners of the Ghostland. So that's mine.
So I want to watch Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yes.
I want to watch Renfield, and then the movie I'm gonna go rewatch after this
It's National Treasure.
is National Treasure. But
Yes.
I actually when we were talking about Con Air, I realized it's been actually a really long time since I saw Con Air, so I'll probably watch that too.
You should watch it with Ashley. She loves that movie. No. What about you?
No, I'll watch it. I'll watch it with Chris because he actually likes
Oh,
it.
there you go.
I would-
Lucky.
I might check out 8mm.
Oh, yeah. You might
Yeah.
like, especially with the crime drama
Yeah.
aspect of it. I think you'd like it. I mean, like it's the wrong word. I think that you will respect that movie. I don't
Okay.
know how to
I
say
think
that.
that
Yeah.
you will be entertained in some way.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
That's how I feel about Nicolas Cage. It might not be a cinematic masterpiece, but I will be entertained.
Oh, wait. Can we leave everybody, if you haven't seen, what's the vampire movie from the 80s where he's losing his shit?
I'm a vampire.
Yes.
I'm a vampire.
What is that called? What is that movie? Something
I wanna-
Bitten?
It's bitten at first. Let me look it up.
Yeah. Because there's Once Bitten with Jim Carrey, but then Nicolas Cage
I know
did
that
something
was
similar.
where I was
Yeah.
thinking, but I know that's not it.
No, but ridiculous. Or if you're really fan of Crank and Crank 2 with Jason
Oh my
Statham, then
God.
go watch Ghost Rider and
Vampires?
Ghost Rider 2.
Vampire's Kiss?
Vampire's Kiss. There you go.
That's it.
There you go. There is your Nicolas Cage wrap up of some of the most
After an
notable
encounter,
movies. After what? You're reading the synopsis?
Vampire's Kiss is so weird.
Hit
Yeah.
it.
After an encounter with a neck biter, a publishing executive thinks that he's turning into a vampire.
Dude, he loses his shit in that movie too. It's great.
Is that the one where he's like walking around town, like, oh
Yeah. Yes.
and then I think it's also, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like, it's that one.
Like trying to get her to do the alphabet right. He's all pissed off.
Yes. My God, I think this movie must have half of the scenes
half of his
that
memes.
YouTube video.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yes, because he has like the fake vampire teeth. It's this
so good
Nicolas Cage face.
So good. This must be the prequel to Renfield.
Right?
Oh man, I've got to watch this one.
All right,
Oh, my
listen,
God.
real awkward nation. Rubes. We haven't called them Rubes in a long time.
I call them rubes behind their
guys,
back.
if there is a Nicolas Cage movie that we missed that should be on the effing list, you need to tell us immediately. Amanda, if they need to, where do they tell us this information?
Okay, so I just found out Nicolas Cage has 111 acting credits.
That's a lot.
So
We talked about 30.
I'm willing to imagine that each person listening has watched at least 3 Nicolas Cage movies.
Fair.
So I need to know what ones that we didn't talk about should I watch. Now, have I seen a lot of his movies? Absolutely. Have I seen every single one? No. So you got to tell me what I missed. But come to our Instagram at Real Awkward Podcast. Also check out our TikTok at the same name. We also have a Patreon, $3 a month, gets you exclusive episodes and maybe some other stuff. But yeah, that's what I got.
Oh, yeah. Guess we'll catch you on the next episode of the Real Awkward Podcast.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
The Decorations of Independence. Hello, Real Awkward listeners. The Real Awkward Podcast turns 3 this year. That's right, 3 years of fun, entertaining content for you guys, and we cannot do it without listeners like you. If you guys want to support the show, head over to patreon.com/Real Awkward Podcast. For $3 a month, that gets you access to exclusive shows, merchandise, and name shoutouts on the show. We also will take your suggestions for show topics. Thank you so much for 3 years, and we look forward to many more.